All right, welcome to Offside Laughs here on FMS. Who's currently the best player in the world? Mbappe, Lamine Yamal, Raphinha, and then Haaland or Harry Kane. We are going to discuss this on the show. I have the guys here. Sit here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on post notification bell, and also share for other people to join. Mbappe is on a very hot form this season in Europe. He has scored a lot of goals, both in the Champions League. In the Champions League, you have 11 goals in the Champions League so far. La Liga with 19 goals. Yeah. And also the Copa del Rey,
2 goals.
2 goals in one match.
32 goals scored.
He's on fine form. Is he currently, as it stands now, the favourite to win the Ballon d'Or? We'll be discussing this on the show. Today I have my guys here. Fortune is here, CB is here, and Champion Lakum.
Alberto Lopez. Bobo.
Yeah.
Alberto Lopez.
We're going to discuss this.
Nancy Ezima kwa che kwa nkrabia shop. Yes. Modem of man was awo. Emrofo musura awo.
We say no momo.
That be make yes na modem of form. Yes mo de kwa sha.
Business as usual.
Yes mo de kwa sha.
Na nya adwuma.
Adwuma na ye sheda. On say na game ni be ye funti na e che mu go ba for first.
Na be buza wo da be city. Yes mo se awo. Na me say emrofo sura awo.
O na mu nya nipa.
Na mu hono ma ya woda da kama ye sura bibini gira silver platform bo bruni se sura awo.
Inti ye boy.
Mabo.
Na ye start ye na aja. You chill mu wango esi mu ya munji na mu kwanchi mu test
soft work
good up
boys say mo brero
you te share mu na ka say na ase mo ni bo for me na ma le wato skibe share ungu anka strike share ungu
yes o share 2 goals
anka strike share ungu
ba onu go share
ne be ya
bati o na ni ref fi say o jina pool
because
the man at Twitch onu go share
because o share bo ana ni nkura ni bona
me wo say na ni go self na ni go fun what's wrong with yourself?
All right, so guys, we'll be talking about that. But Kylian Mbappe, do you think he's the favorite to win the Ballon d'Or?
He stands a chance in winning this Ballon d'Or. But you see, the factors are, and I say the criteria for the Ballon d'Or, no, they come about individual performance, team collective performance, and something about fair play, your attitude. Okay. Things say about individual performance, he stands a chance. But my question is collective titles. Real Madrid is going to win the UEFA Champions League, the league or not. I think that will be the difference, whether he is going to win or not.
Okay.
So I think as it stands, he stands a chance. Looking at his performance, his goals and assists and all that. So I think he stands a chance. But the problem is the collective success. The collective success. Yeah.
Now, quickly, we get players on Bobo this season now. Why now? Why you know about the Ballon?
Players on Bobo this season, yeah. Said yeah, can Kylian Mbappe will top, but let's look at Raphinha. How are the decisions here? Is it here? We game decider these days. Yeah. Barcelona most important player for me, arguably, Raphinha. Into one kasa. Like Mbappe is there, but Raphinha is also there.
So you think Mbappe and Raphinha? Okay.
Well, I think Mbappe and Raphinha too stands a chance. And can I say, this season, Agasano, if you look at those 2 players, they are currently on red hot form for their teams. Yeah. And Mbappe, there will be him since we buy last season. He has been the poster boy for this new Madrid project. So as Raphinha carrying car, and Yenyama Bakumi no be a course. He obviously deserved to be the Ballon d'Or winner for last year. So I think these 2 players have stand out this year and having a chance of being one of them being the winners of the Ballon d'Or. Let's see.
So Kylian Mbappe this season so far scored 11 goals in 6 games in the Champions League, 5 more than the second top scorer. Now, produced 19 goals and 4 assists in 19 La Liga matches. Delivered 2 goals in 1 appearance in the Copa del Rey.
Exactly.
Produced 5 goals and 3 assists in 4 matches for the French national team in the FIFA 2026 World Cup qualifiers. At the end of the day, come here, Madrid in common now. What we say is that Mbappe is the problem. Most importantly, but with the number of goals he's producing I want us to revisit that conversation again.
Okay.
The number of starts and assists, the number of goals, because looking at these numbers, he contributes not less than 60% of the goals Real Madrid has scored this season.
Yeah.
So why then do we then see at the end of the day, somebody who is producing this number of goals now becomes the problem of a club that's not performing?
Okay. So there you go.
Yeah, go.
So I think I have problem with the definite clause use there. Saying Mbappe is the problem is unfair. There. The word they use, the indefinite clause use. I think as a collective issue, no, the question is using there. But I think Mbappe is a problem.
But he's a lion share, that's what we see.
He's part of the problem.
Yeah, he is a problem, but it's not the problem. Saying they're not as a
okay
issue ni on but the issue is a collective thing.
Yeah.
But Mbappe is a problem.
Why?
And I have reasons for this. Not reasons for that. In as much as I say Mbappe is a problem. Mumenye factual, ni so reality nkasa. He's the best player. He is the best player for me in this generation.
This generation, where
This generation, not okay. This
currently those playing.
Those players who you Messi, no Ronaldo, move free man. He is the best player among them.
Okay.
You can talk say Ousmane Dembele the best player, but for me, winning the Ballon d'Or doesn't guarantee you become better player than Obi.
So why then that? Why okay? Now finish. So I'll ask you, why do you think Mbappe is the best player?
Okay, you see, when the mama answer no cry.
Okay.
Because o check the qualities, the goal scoring ability, the on the ball, the aura and all that. Say indeed he's the best player because comparing the number of goals and assists provided and him single-handedly taking this France team in 20 the last time that they played the World Cup to the World Cup single-handedly for me. And again, in many of the games for Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid, he has been decisive, single-handedly deciding games for this size. Tells me that he's the best player among
Nico equals
because if you say you be mentioning Ousmane Dembele as a best player in that France national team, so who is the poster boy?
Mbappe.
Not necessarily about the personality, performance can performance watch 2018 that last UEFA Champions League played the Euros and as if watch us. No, he's very important and the best player in this France national team setup. Ousmane Dembele count. So for me, in as much as I can say Mbappe is a problem for Real Madrid. He's the best player. The goals, the decisive movement, or the Real Madrid. Now, all come about the numbers are the numbers. No, there is 19 games, 19 goals, and 4 assists in La Liga. Champions League, 11 goals and
11
you see,
goals.
it's really important about this Madrid team. But you see, great players can still be a bad fit for team. You can talk about Real Madrid Galactic era. They were great players, superstars. But did Real Madrid achieve? No. Which was a great players can still be a bad fit. It was set up him. And you see, these great players, they can be great individual, but not collective. They can be great individual. You can and I bet you're saying indeed they are great. Indeed, they are giving out the good performance. But this involvement with team, that collective team, is sad in same saba. Emma team in your balance. And you see, we'll be talking about Mbappe goals. Right from say Obai. Obai Real Madrid. Last season he was Real Madrid top scorer number 1.
Yes.
And this season when Real Madrid top scorer. Yes. He has been decisive for Real Madrid in games. But you see, and on an over-reliance about this Real Madrid team. Now Real Madrid team now be Mbappe centric.
Okay.
They depend on Mbappe for goals. And you see, team Bekoswa, not one player. You can check the MNS of Barcelona. Messi will be giving out the most goals and assists. But Neymar Dibiba, Suarez the be by the Eben. Edu Abia, you see Iniesta Rakitic more involvement with goals and assists there. Eboma Basuna Akosro. So in as man say Messi na ya poster boy giving the most goals and assists ni na. Untimi nkana nya number of goals are Messi Neymar so the by Suarez the by. In big games they were being decisive. Through Paris Saint-Germain at that quarterfinals of UEFA Champions League 2015. Neymar single-handedly. And he Juma at that night. But in this Real Madrid, after the presence, about over-reliance on just Mbappe centric. Now, the number of goals are due the season under review and Sana Mbappe ban or the Biaba Biwana. No. Vinicius Junior Biaba Biwana. So team na Mbappe needs to score.
No, but you see, someone like Mbappe comes to the team.
Okay.
And he's a big guy.
Yeah, big guy.
And he has proven that anytime he's given the mantle to lead, he succeeds.
Yeah.
In Jude Bellingham ushered 20 goals a season and a review before Kylian Mbappe comes out. That was because he was given a certain role that always make him, always available inside the box to take advantage of second balls and also get closer to the box and score goals. Have a lot of opportunities. If Vinicius Junior is able to score a lot of goals, that means Vinicius Junior is given the chance, is given the opportunity to attack more and always be closer to the ball.
Yeah.
But Mbappe comes in, he's going to be the leading man.
Mm-hmm.
So, you Bellingham, you have to be deep because you are a midfielder. Because at your first season, they didn't have a striker who was reliable.
Mm-hmm.
You were asked to play as a second striker, always closer to the box.
And that becomes
Therefore,
a problem.
You score a lot of goals.
Yeah.
But now, a striker comes in.
Yeah.
And you have to be dropped back.
Yeah.
To perform your responsibility as a midfielder.
Okay. And that becomes a problem. That's why I'm talking about over-reliance, Mbappe-centric. Mbappe nkwanti mfa Real Madrid nkudu baby Real Madrid peso mudu. You see, Mbappe nkwanti mfa ni goals and assists. Efa Real Madrid nkudu baby peso mudu. Last season, he goals and assists for the man. Dembele man in chain. In terms of goals and assists. Lami Yamal no mba. Raphinha and the Ekulu Sanamboa.
So Mbappe gave 60
something goals and assists.
You
see, a number
60 something. Yeah.
A number in any other day, say player be the man ni team. Teams needs to achieve something.
Okay.
But Real Madrid almost achieved there last season. Nothing. Which was being over reliance on just a player becomes another problem because my example of MNS, where the contribution ba, where the beba, and I'm farmer back Messi has shattered something goes Neymar Alpha Makura 19 goals the You see the argument. But you see, Mbappe bought 60-something goals. Go and check the goals and assists of Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, and Mbappe. Combine, no more beno. You see where I'm talking from?
Yeah.
And that's another problem of Mbappe. And because Mbappe is a problem. And again, you see, Mbappe needs freedom. For Mbappe to be effective, he needs freedom.
But he has been given enough freedom at Real Madrid.
He needs freedom.
Okay, what freedom?
Give him the freedom on the ball, off the ball. Me mane me pressibi. Me mane me takibi.
Oh yes, I didn't know Madrid.
Me mane me takibi. Me mane me pressibi. Just give him the space, No, I'm fan creating the space, but born a tournament na uncle. And in this modern era, a tactical game and yebon. If say this a player that freedom now, it becomes problem defensively. Your team looks imbalanced. That was the issue when Carlo Ancelotti have. And mama one scenario. Before Mbappe, Carlo Ancelotti won the UEFA Champions League season before. And I'm a Real Madrid was playing balanced. Real Madrid team never balance. Omo come man, never balance. Omo defender, never balance. Mbappe comes in. The team looks unbalanced. That's the reason why argument about say or a problem.
No, but you see.
That time we have lost Toni Kroos.
Let me see. You see.
We are not being fair to Kylian Mbappe because
Let me see. Anytime I say he is a problem, not the problem.
no, but you see. If you involve
imbalance there. All you see Toni Kroos, who is the ball controller of the game.
Yeah.
Not
even only Toni Kroos. Now,
okay.
Mbappe comes to a team where, as he rightfully stated, Toni Kroos leaves the club, who showed the defense and the midfield. Now, you lost key players like Nacho, who was integral and gave that leadership in the team. season now Vinicius Junior Mbappe buy no. It got to a point. Now a Tchouaméni ni Rudiger na na center back.
Okay.
Even Rudiger was not fit.
Okay.
And you see, when Nacho left, they didn't sign a replacement for Nacho.
Okay.
And it's not defense, no, it's not any stable because there were no personnel to play in that particular role.
Okay.
You
So
understand?
you see, the imbalance comes in attack. Real Madrid attack and you're flexible in my opinion after so buying.
Why?
Because no one won near 4-4-2. At a point, Bellingham playing as the first 9 or that. Or buying. And you're buying a Becca, so Real Madrid football left one corner. And you're buying a Sasa Coco conversation. Say Real Madrid for Jiba. Mbappe no also or the central or central position. No actors number 9. No. Remember Mwakasa or that left will be. And see, my any morning you're flexible.
Okay.
And you're the buy a conversation buy.
Yeah.
And again, pressing. They want to buy that situation buy. It was Mbappe. He was not pressing at that point. And see, in this structured football and tactical game, say or strike and press here, your defense look imbalanced. Defense actually safe anymore and sana actually. In this tactical game, defense actually safe anymore and sana actually. One press here, leave space for the deep line playmaker of an opponent to get that freedom and get up to take that pace, no? Because Obama Kwame defender no, at the ball better him and was penetrating, allocating in deep line playmaker and they take the game. And a responsibility of that center forward in that setup and pressing. Mbappe was he pressing? No. That's the imbalance. One of the imbalance in the buy in terms of how and yet did it here. You near saying a Paris Saint-Germain. Luis Enrique, I find it in a screen kakaraka. Anna or churches a massa. I say, when I know that press defender. Your attitude on a foot, no enemy team imbalance. One can.
Okay.
He was saying, and that same attitude in the first season when they break Haaland Slotty, and our Haaland Slotty a season before, now the team no looking balanced and threat, no. After the season before, no, now and looking balanced. We are talking about him being tactically not astute. Yanka. Say Haaland Slotty more than more form, and it was Mbappe out the imbalance in the buy because of the presence when him on and then the attitude. Remember for your fans, your side you are as a playboy on my can ask him, be a playboy can ask him. But I mean for me, that season I achieving. In as much as give you that good goals and assistance, he was our problem.
Okay.
Yeah, it's man finding balance because of honor.
If you say he was our problem, then that means what I said, saying he was the problem of Real Madrid, you also like seconded to that.
He was that season our problem. Tell me based on just a season.
So last season Mbappe was your problem.
Last season Mbappe was our problem.
And you are
So
encountering
you can say definitely that he was the problem
last season. Yeah, for me, he was the problem for me.
Yes, and we all agree also that this season, what Madrid faced last season are facing similar, not if not same, similar situations this season.
And
too.
remember how.
And Mbappe is still there.
And I remember how. And I remember how. You see, you say Mbappe, I understand something. He adjust at the point in time we saw Mbappe pressing. At the point in time, or press it. Xabi Alonso by or the that press in the bar, and he was the one beginning that press.
So what then happened?
That the attitude of the other players, so about Vinicius and Sense, by Rodrigo saying when you be more, Jude Bellingham say limited. And about it's because last season he was the problem. This season the problem. He is the problem for Real Madrid. I would disagree. He is a problem.
I also disagree with you when you say Mbappe was Real Madrid's problem last
season. Okay.
Because if Mbappe is not the only problem this season, then he was not only the problem last season.
For
because
me,
last season was Vinicius Junior's worst performance in the Real Madrid shirt, apart from the early stages now by now Breno.
Okay.
Last season he did nothing for Real Madrid. It was
and why? And because of how Real Madrid imbalance will attack.
And he contributed to that. Last season he was indisciplined.
A season before he was there.
Yes.
Was there imbalance?
No. Good.
And why say Mbappe there was imbalance?
So why is that this season too there's imbalance too?
This season, Real Madrid having imbalance.
Real Madrid,
I think
Real Madrid not having imbalance this season.
The problem of
the
problem of not having a centrally controlled player in the profile of Toni Kroos is still hanging within the Madrid team.
Yes,
it's still hanging.
Alonso
by. He tried with all options. Not the other good ball. trying to fit in the profile, but other
it was Xabi Alonso problem. Being tactically rigid. So you need deep line playmaker. You need tactics be a better player on any European team. We need proper deep line playmaker more perform.
Oh, you have.
It's one adjusting to that whole system. No? But I mean, for me, Ballon, but what's 5 goals, 6 goals? Or deep line playmaker.
But Xabi Alonso came to in his first matches, he was scoring these goals.
But Real Madrid was suffering, creating chances. Ballon match against Monaco. Who are Real Madrid fans? You see,
Alonso against Betis was 5. Sure.
Was 5. When you say 6, you see,
okay.
It's way early days yet. I made the consistent performance. Okay. So Alonso have more matches than Ballon. Until the Ballon will be in fact one a problem. But you see, for me, you saying deep line playmaker, Real Madrid not having deep line playmaker is their problem. I agree with you. Yes. It's a problem. But you see, if sorry tactically rigid that. Because two here deep line, proper deep line playmaker and one because deep line playmaker, you see any view because they be on available. See, Ballon is deep line playmaker and when you're proper. And so what I catch him say, where is Xabi Alonso? No converting no proper deep line playmaker and team performing. Meaning you are being tactically rigid.
Okay, so Xabi Alonso did not have a deep line playmaker. He was trying. I mean, he was playing Tchouaméni in that role, but he's not that kind of player you can rely on to dictate play and do things that we want him to do.
Okay.
So you wanted him to bring in Dani Ceballos or to integrate Dani Ceballos. And we all are aware that Dani Ceballos is not that reliable player. He's not consistent. Yeah. One, in his form, and two, because of injuries.
Yeah.
Now, Alvaro Arbeloa comes
in, yeah.
The first 3 matches, he lost to Abe City, won to Levante. Me always I'll say this Levante match, Xabi Alonso would have won even more than 2 goals.
Okay.
This Monaco game, Xabi Alonso would have won the match. So what Arbeloa have done, it's nothing extraordinary.
Okay.
But let's critically assess the Real Madrid team as now. Let's rectify the problem. And if you're not very careful, the problem will continue. And by and next season, we'll be talking about the same problem.
But see, because Xabi Alonso was the performance his problem. Was the performance his problem?
So was the proper performance his problem?
It was on the relationship with the problem with the player. Not time medical because performance wise, no. Ultimately, can say he was poor. He was winning the matches, and I'm a boy.
That's true.
It was about the relationship with the players, and then the issues never a second, not about performance. And so because of performance, I mean I would disagree because so be my 70.6 winning rate. Or about 36 winning 24. I think it's bad.
Yes,
in my opinion.
But you see,
and again, on the second Champions League, he was among that top 7 for automatic qualification. And the performance and any Xabi Alonso problem. It was on only players in individual performance in the any relationship. So for me, I think say Real Madrid needs a deep line playmaker. Say that there will be can. But I think it's all about fat team. Now so a manager now say we need deep line playmaker and to team that performance. Now you've been tactically rigid for me. I think that the imbalance for Real Madrid, you can have a point, say deep line playmaker, another key in terms of Real Madrid for any balancing because they are creative force. You need a deep line playmaker, best starting a penetrative rate in the passes. I agree with you, but Real Madrid imbalance, when on more attack and you fluid.
Okay.
And it was Mbappe presence. It started in Mbappe presence.
Because he wasn't pressing.
He wasn't pressing. Okay. Last season, he wasn't pressing.
Okay, so you think last season the problem of Real Madrid
for Real Madrid and Carlo Ancelotti
was
for me
Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah, it was Mbappe
but
for me.
This season is not.
But this is not only Mbappe. It was the attitude.
Yes, but last season this attitude thing came in. We are talking about this attitude thing.
Last season,
you see
attitudes. Last season, Real Madrid attitudes. Man, who attitudes be? One attitude.
When we say attitude, all we talk about is player and coach. But being indisciplined on the pitch, if you don't have a good attitude on the pitch.
And that's when freedom comes in.
So if you say that Kylian Mbappe was not pressing last season, that means his attitude on the pitch was not good.
It was not good. It was poor. And that's why I made the problem in
with that, was it only Kylian Mbappe?
It was Kylian Mbappe only. Because Vinicius was pressing.
I will say this. Okay. Last season, because of the timing of his inclusion into the squad, so he became the center stage of the new Madrid project. Yeah. So at the beginning, now why you say okay, me na build the BPS so. Yeah. So a bit ego. He was a bit egoistic at the start. Yeah. I wouldn't hide it. Mbappe was a bit egoistic at the start. It's a whole no kana pundits other the commentators no more say he had the same issue with Pochettino, Tuchel, Luis Enrique, and all those stuff. You know, that highlight. You know, I shall say by no who say no. We need to look at this again. Although he's a good player, he's a better player by all standards. But we need to also look at that side of Mbappe, because Real Madrid ain't not concerned about one person. Yeah. It's a collective thing. It's a collective thing. It's a collective team that has won many laurels by teamwork. Yeah. Okay, so Mbappe's inclusion at that time, onono who say as a meme na bibie besimi so. Si bibie besimi so the identity na me so me improve bibie mo who say ampa project no esimi so. Ti meme na me beye ne wo say me ye de Madrid ebuko na nim. So they didn't consider that until the tensions rose between him and other players. And mind you, now tensions, now just that shaman for him. Particular one with Vinicius Jr. You could clearly see it in their games. Baby, I was saying Mbappe, you too much Vinicius. Not a problem. Baby, I was saying Vinicius, what you say? Yes. Clear cut chance Mbappe is open. You man or no, so person tries to obey. So, I do baby now question. Managing those egos within the dressing room at that time couldn't help.
All right. Before you come,
okay,
you've been quiet. You are also a Madrid fan. He's making some allegations here that Mbappe was solely the problem of Real Madrid last season, but this season he's not the only problem. Meanwhile, the problems we encountered last season at the club, we are encountering similar situations this year. You also believe that with the number of goals Kylian Mbappe is giving Real Madrid, this season especially, and the problem you are trying to affiliate to Kylian Mbappe, are we being fair to him? Do you think he's the problem?
Sir, Okase Kylian Mbappe a problem. It's the problem of Real Madrid.
I say it's a problem.
It's a problem of
last season he was the problem.
Last season was the problem. Yeah.
I won't buy that.
Okay. But reject it.
Carlo Ancelotti last season about Real Madrid, you know. Now Timu said before Mbappe, you know. Anymore no can say me say Madrid for like we don't press or can say me say we impress
a season before and that's the last season
like,
okay
last 2 seasons me say before Mbappe
Mantis or Wakasa
can say before say Mbappe Ebano na oba na press issues
we see we're having balanced team balance or anymore
yes into oba na press issues by say Mbappe on press or anymore
so oba na imbalance ni bi ni say no on press
yes But Mr. Mekacho said, Carlo Ancelotti before say Mbappe, but this season now won the Champions League. Now Jude Bellingham about force 9. We were not pressing.
We were
not pressing.
We
were staying in our lines. Now you're in your lines. Carlo Ancelotti know how to suffer. When you say yes, but mean to me boni.
Yeah.
It's a bedroom baby medina. So bebo boni bi. Now Barcelona ebo Haaland. Mekacho there was a time here with Gina Mount. Full 90 obe press o sa so obe ball no obe press o sa but Carlo Ancelotti know how to suffer and no be na Pep Guardiola be adapt ya eboa ne kaka because oye na dwen say ansa na obe champions that season no Champions League no ohun say me take control of the game so 90 I was set a group be a oma players no e suffer like omoji o ma home with their defending omo defending low blocks e dey ji o ma home nti no kasa asem na me I won't buy that and I feel so can say Oba na inya problem say left overloads left Ancelotti Mbappe nyamba ina na Benzema na Vinicius na Wajugo ne boss so ne ko create overloads ye di ball ni bi our weapon was Vinicius Jr. Yeah, the ball ne ko ne nyina ya kwa against Liverpool yeah come back for the game omo share 20 or Anfield you see say goals na do na ebe nyina was the overloads na overloads and you create with that left side or until Ukasa actually me say yeah like me I won't buy that. Mbappe this season and last season or buy you know. And I make a choice say last year buy make a choice say Madrid Madrid that we need that Vinicius Junior form that Vinicius that Junior na you name that no and the Madrid but say here the case say Mbappe I solely on a BBR like you don't expect say Madrid be there because so Vinicius Junior form no a drop pay last season honestly a drop pay am how you say Said the can't say next time. Way my numbers. Now my team, But Vinicius Junior did not drop it. I drop in as a map and scoring goals when your chance. Like do sometimes you crowd team say and you go no and get assist to be no be the man. Or no one create something for himself. I know yeah BB. What would they make sure no? It is Okoba catch him say like team no problem no Mbappe is a problem. Me too because Vinicius Junior is also there. And form now with the boy Madrid who say Madrid saying no I drop it down.
That's why I'm used to S.
Yes, okay.
I'm used to S.
I'm an idea. I drop it down. What's the percentage and I say it is a on also form a back up. No who say yes or sorry and I know against Monaco who say Vinicius Junior is on fire no. Who say yes. A map no be a na juma attackers no team say obi a na juma obi a on bon bibim. E wo ho. E ma koya be so Jude Bellingham so at that time point no. What would you make sure I say? Yes. And I feel so let's look at Benzema Vinicius time. Vinicius Benzema juma be brain na o ye no. Eno abi na Mbappe you. Me can say ni. I say Mbappe Benzema he was not staying in the 18-yard box. Now moving round. I thought that we could no Vinicius Junior position was now sharing matches now. I thought that we no Vinicius Junior position. He was moving round. Say be na Mbappe yede. You know. Say be na Mbappe yede. It's not problem na your weapon ni na Vinicius Junior so. Enti ene say e bia bibi na Mbappe ateki soul na say bibi no ya. Like me who say your problem. Your problem. I Madrid problem nah. Vinicius Junior form I drop in. I'm telling you for a fact, say Vinicius Junior a back up. We will see because we have France, Mbappe call France. Like the ball Madrid in the club side, you know. And we have been our ball France.
Or the left for France.
Oh,
the France on the left.
Who can say like team will be there just oba start to say no person say just say depending ba beta ki bi abo team no yes sir defensively no team no so be there be lucky but Mbappe no here is the case of France no ye ja o tell the oka no ye ja no
but different players
ye ja no free room
but different players.
Okay, so that's
he is playing under different roof and different tactical manager. You see, until the tactical presence, every Real Madrid, you deviate because ADD is high different. He's having different crop of players around him. Real Madrid different crops of players. You see, a different. You see, Mbappe will be there at kind of say France. The players could be playing for him.
Also, I can say different.
You see, a different ideology.
Okay, I say different. But we can say Tony Cruz out into say insist say so we your manager now back.
And I say no different someone I can. Me say we your manager but I say but they can me say me twam you know. Me twam you know. You see people are having perception about Carlo Ancelotti. Say tactically he was poor. And that tactically he was not good. He still used that get his man manager now. Me disagree. I disagree. Carlo Ancelotti na beka kire want a quiet leadership book say football evolves and you need to adapt to systems and you see that 2020 2021 and Sana Obekon he was tactically brilliant. He wasn't doing the management aspect in Kwao. He was tactically brilliant. And you want to be a personal Benzema Vini personal Mbappe Benzema will begin press and I'm Mbappe Benzema. He begins the press for Real Madrid and that Carlo Ancelotti. It means our perception of the beyond the management aspect and I disagree. He was tactically brilliant. Man management in this area achieved that. He was tactically brilliant too. That movie take it and simple. Carlo Ancelotti, he was tactically brilliant. Oh, done years not the UEFA Champions. It's a feeling. And for me, the failing in American, the failing in our boils down to the imbalance and a winner. And because we're quiet leadership, it's an on voice out.
No. You see, what I do want to agree with you is that the imbalance last season you want to attribute to only Mbappe.
Who probably only now that was saying Mbappe. Okay.
Who can't hear me say Mbappe this season, even though he's a problem, it's not the problem. but he's part of the problem.
Okay.
But last season, he was solely the problem. Meanwhile, we are talking about a new coach. We are talking about a team that's experiencing the same problem they experienced last year. And last season, I watched most of Real Madrid games. Vinicius Jr. was tactically indisciplined.
In terms of
listening to coaches' instructions. So you see, coach will not tell you that if your attacker is in a clear position to convert a chance, go for a goal.
By situations, you see there be and you're not going to see.
There
have been a situation where Mbappe to also convert.
If at the end of the day, you see there be now all decisions now will make a bit affected club now
in the whole.
So I disagree. There was a situations and Mbappe so was in the right place to convert it for a Vinicius.
There was a goal.
Oh no, so what the command Vinicius Junior and Kwasa no connected and now he was indisciplined. Mbappe too was a point.
So that means Mbappe was not only the problem.
For me, he was the only problem for Real Madrid. He was because that situation and Vinicius at Mbappe time. Now there has been a situation which my passer Benzema went to mine.
Then last season too, you made mention of Xabi Alonso not being able to adapt to situations if Toni Kroos are free.
This is
for Xabi Alonso, I'm deep line playmaker. He was having problem and now here, but the performance and anything is
okay, good. So, but was Xabi Alonso able to get someone in that particular role and all born perfectly?
Perfectly,
like Toni Kroos.
Yeah. Unya Toni Kroos profile no. Unya bo we are seeing. But last season, or deploy other Gulano I said, man.
Last season,
this is not American. This is Obayano.
Last season it was Shomeni.
It was Shomeni. And good. That's it. Last season, Zabi Alonso. It was Carlos.
Where I want to land is that even last season, the problem, Carlo Ancelotti was part of the problem. Because a season prior, you had Toni Kroos. Who was the best midfielder in the Madrid team?
Yeah.
He left after the season.
Yeah.
Now you were not able to find solution to make sure you'll be able to close that midfield woes in the team. Anytime you're Madrid, you could clearly see that on midfield, a leaky.
But for me, Real Madrid problem last season wasn't their midfield. It was leaking because of the imbalance of anyone. Hey, so I'm pressing anyone. Now say my opponents in deep line playmaker they be able comfortable. As a midfielder, you open.
If the attackers don't press, and you have a midfielder,
midfielders be problems.
Who is good in controlling the ball? Who is good in dictating the player?
At least he
comes be exposed that much.
You see, and the problem is Real Madrid got that players or more transitional players. Vinicius is a transitional player. Omu here ball possession with team say he was transition or he has space but one my transition Mbappe he has space but and you see maybe so say it's all about control asema if say with team no many more a transitional player transitional players it will be difficult for midfielders to control the tempo because what because their transitions also go
and
how are you going to control the game?
Madrid midfield who has that attribute of Toni Kroos who can give those passes we are talking about?
You see, what's it? You need me for the tambo and aquacoma. American.
And you midfielder beyond
the can make count tell us you need midfielder beyond or tambo and aquacoma Mbappe.
Something like that pass that other Gulia de Mar for Monaco against
Monaco. Be more by see, you see. Mom, but was goal scoring Real Madrid problem
last
season was goal scoring their problem. No. And since that pass now okay can I know mom
good so
now I'm finding way to score.
No good.
But now I'm finding it difficult to defend and the defense was the imbalance and anymore.
There was imbalance in the team. There was imbalance in the team in attack. Agreed. But that is not only the problem.
But for me, you see, problem even teams perfect. Barcelona for pay for me. We are talking about their defenders, but they are performing. But it is the defender is their major problem. For me, is their major problem.
Yes.
Is their but you find problems. I want moving for Akara meboa. And no, you minor. You can't major problem now. Real Madrid did last season.
Man, Obabe Jiname Food work. Yeah, China kwa kushe defense because
Rudiger or ball with Banich. Obo with Banish.
Obo with Banish. You are like squad depth.
But see, Real Madrid was having a full squad still and near Lusu. Last season, at the point in time, we were having our full squad against Barcelona. We scored 2. First time, we better share 4-2.
Last season,
the last match, we were having our full players.
Was Cavaja part?
No.
That match 100 more.
Cavaja last season. No, last season.
Lucas Vasquez improved. Vasquez.
It was Vasquez. Yeah. One player through team and I said, "Who team you complete 2 team in match?"
No, but
was ACL.
The season and winning Champions League no count be winning and so military the season you winning champion no count and so you winning.
No, you see
last. And so you winning. Na la bank count you winning. And I winning.
And you made me raise the question. That topic is Mbappe is the problem of Real Madrid. But we had the problem that Mbappe come too much.
Me first the côté for me that what is the problem? Me kono ma defending no. Yeah.
If it was prime Rudiger as a fully fit Rudiger and Kasabo na ka obekele. But because Rudiger was not fit and because of lack of players and now Real Madrid they won last season, Rudiger had to play with pains in that particular game. It was Tchouaméni in the ball center on the partner na center back. Okay.
Tchouaméni na center back on this season almost a year that center back down.
That's because because Tchouaméni was center back that means players need be available.
Yeah. Was it the problem for Real Madrid when saw center back?
Yes, it was a problem.
Problem in the face. Satan problem in the face. Tchouaméni we need them betting 4-4-5. Ball winning DM betting ball 4-5. Mon family. Ball winning DMs. Ball winning DMs. Also team center back. Ah? Qu'est-ce que tu as center back? At the point in time Real Madrid Messi play on the level.
Obebo, enga se want me mbo. Another Tchouaméni
na se ball profile no. E profile no.
Also Mbappe bet ma ball. Ne papa na
Tchouaméni defensive awareness. Tchouaméni no body problem man.
No man papa ball playing no nya hwaju.
Body problem.
Hey.
Tchouaméni, it's last
Tchouaméni
body problem. Tchouaméni bona energy.
No man nyina de be na me here. Hey. Tchouaméni da be argument na me da fa say okay, mon ko check ni say mon ko check times of ball center ba na me go say concede.
Tchouaméni.
Mon ko check here. Tchouaméni. And then but yeah, a classic that 4 consecutive time. And then the be on ball center back by concede. They are concede 4-5. They are concede 4-5.
4-0 Clasico last season. One the boy. One Rudiger the boy.
No,
Rudiger abedi. No, 4-0 was
it was military also say. Catch 4-4 now it's a center back snap also say. Yes, 3-2.
He played as center back.
Yes, 3-2 pe. The center back for work 5. Yeah, 5. The center back for crab work 5. No we want to share 3-2 as well a problem. The center back for work ya jinum. Now they no we want to share 3-2. No a problem. See, you see. I somehow disagree with say last season me making emphasis say Mbappe was the problem because you can be fact that certain players ain't getting injuries. And all that we are having, we were messing on the Cruz profile and all that. You may have an argument on it because, but for me, I based on season before and Sana Oba. You see, season before, Real Madrid was playing with Toni Kroos or Koi, say Modric, or Fedi. I know Fedi at that point in time. But you see, Real Madrid problem was not about scoring. And I'm about to say the plan.
That season before,
that your ball last season. Last season, the problem was not about scoring because she goes Mbappe she goes
44 goals.
44 no can chance of Mexico ranka or she na ke she 50 something goals. You see, can send busy. Okay, but chance me family okay I say 44 goals. Which was Real Madrid not scoring any problem. But our problem was
over reliance on him.
Over reliance and conceding more goals.
Okay.
Because yes, Mbappe. And conceding more goals a defense. And the first year probably not
nobody. But you see. The striker. What's the primary responsibility of a striker on the pitch? Is to score.
You score.
Good.
Nice one. The first start from pressing. The first start from pressing.
I get it.
You see.
Striker. Let me primary responsibility is go. Yeah. Me go. Now defend and I have premise for this.
And yeah, you want to pay the money. Yeah, you want to open the one about Kujanchen. Never want
to coach. No, you're watching some of your straight ones. The bedroom will be no better form.
By see,
Alonso coming on the first. He was pressing. But
and everybody was delivering. And that's it.
Mbappe, no. Who did say? Oh no. Or the pace na dey.
And it's unbelievable. As we are saying, simple. He was the problem last season, but this season he is a problem.
But is he a problem? Is he pressing this season?
Yes, for me, yes. At Alonso time, he was pressing. Answer Alonso kon. Last season, a match against Monaco. Olusubobi, from the capo de Quajibo no actually.
Yeah, starting and the Alonso time no.
He was pressing me boy.
But middle no as a pressing.
Satan na say semesino be a Canadian no. It's na abufo team
the narrative
around him and all that. Tension and this.
But if I really knew team so we defender at I really knew team say we a defender now be team na Vinicius Junior. There is difference between so be tracking back and it's say oh baba be defending. Vinicius Junior be team track back. But so be do na the ref say my JT am ba and say me be dey me be defend.
And also boapa baba you see here that time na Mbappe ja pressing was Xabi Alonso adapting to a culture that field because na pressure one so. Players then said that be pressing too much and men sit on low blocks. Yen for transitional game ni mra. And so okay, say when man ko press said na mo press no, mo sit back akra. And that was when I almost started someone pressing you know. And the problem wasn't him, it was the coach instructions. And the managers are pressing not pressing because coaches say mo press am me share. And then say mo sana mo pede na mo sit deep. Mo for transitional game ni mo je ball na mo quick, simple. And the manager are pressing no. So for me
I think it's the same thing Abelu
also yen because they say no tie. In as much so na the
boy so mun na ball no so.
You see, in as much say yeah can about pressing as if yeah. Players na be go press, players yen press ya o kan yan kwaya be dey. Utimi nya hwe
o. So players make us a coach instruct players say on pressing.
Na players on pressing. You be sack o, you be ka say on enye no yeah Alonso.
Na yeah coach, what's the no authority? Now why you play na free?
You will be sacked.
Will be sacked say.
And say o
instruction.
Alonso wan go.
Na masabu na wako pamia. Then that means if I know that nyom baby and your money and you see that was the mistake Alonso made.
Yeah.
Time and players instead say omun follow the instruction. What he had to do was to resign. Because
yeah,
that was Real Madrid. You know win ahead of.
You not win ahead.
You've lost the dressing room. So what else?
It will be resign because the match was a president won't press there. Then there was a midfield club in them.
Okay.
So if the coach says okay, press you say you no press, do this you no do that. The coach have to resign
and go.
In the job.
That was Real Madrid making players powerful than managers, and that was him because now me can Real Madrid situation baby we. So you coach, that's the players and one understand them from their perspective. Now why so very strict in terms of your tactical approach? Now say for na kwesi you feel.
Because Madrid dressing room need there.
No inform one that sense now maybe say on go press one pressing team losing team. Because one team come na press it.
Yeah.
And you see, you can say you can have points. They all can accept say because last season me emphasizing on saying Mbappe was the problem. No, you will not disagree because there were different factors. They had Real Madrid for because Toni Kroos scored. Defenders need play. Real Madrid for your injuries. You can have points, but the major problem for me, and I still stand by it. Say it was Mbappe and they making our team look imbalanced. And that was our problem because goal scoring wasn't our problem, but he defended and defense start from attacking. It's one man you attacking defense near there. There be a one be
So maybe so.
Okay.
So after
that be who Busa say Busa say last
what make you point
last
season last but one season of Carlo Ancelotti the Champions League. That's Jude Bellingham first season.
Wembley
there no. Yes. Jude Bellingham first season.
Okay.
We are not having Karim Benzema. We are having Jude Bellingham.
Now first nine.
But now Sab or linked by what you say? See, I don't know where we pressing that time.
That never 4-4-2 or 4.
I think Diamond
4-4-2 we are pressing at you see pressing. You different type of pressing.
True.
Whether you be judging pressing or intelligent pressing. And so basically said the BJ boy and press. I know a judging press. We have another type of press which is intelligent. And at the point in time, Haaland also was using intelligent pressing. And so the pressing the judging pressing, you obey mistake.
Last season, Haaland does the corner. No pay judging pressing.
No pay on the set the BI intelligent pressing.
Then it's not getting Mbappe. If last season he didn't want the players,
was Mbappe doing that intelligent pressing? No. You see, intelligent pressing, when say, the teams in the ball, you will not press at that time. Obesity, my lineup, I said, the teams will find it difficult to penetrate within the passes and to locate. But Mbappe, at the point in time, teams in the ball, you see him say, on Nantibon, yes, or Jorgio, on Nantibon.
You see,
share. Intelligent person, okay? Teams on board, intelligent person, discipline for us. And a slot about intelligent person. So, and also, Olusubona. Yeah, a man in place be unlike say club there Olusu ya no matter we shape no go and press but omo shape that intelligent person enti Olusu bo na say 4-4-2 na say ni 2 no ba akwa da say ya yen go press e was here chema the honom no e ba na 4-4-2 ansa na akọ because o mess o structure na unya intelligent player or deep line playmaker he will penetrate
create space
about penetrate and that's already the problem because say wa ma ye shape no nye and omu the ball omu deep line playmaker na so omu intelligent creative force biana or ben notice that space and he will penetrate within the person e do sa na mumu defense my vulnerable mu shape na ye pa beti nipa be 5 na ba so wo there.
So can we say Mbappe of last season everything changed around the Madrid team to suit him because Edu Bebino once Edu Bebino within the season, na Modric nye bimbo. And talking about press here now, Mbappe ineffective on his pressing. There was a match against I think away to Sevilla. Mbappe shot I think 2 or 3 goals within that match.
Okay.
Madrid Lusu Bobby. Mbappe was supposed to be the first press one yet. There was Luka Modric. And then one Jacob Ramon.
Na space abeda
so in a way no so what was it? This time person me say was the new structure in Mbappe's face.
Over reliance in the
Mbappe comes in. You see, Mbappe comes into the team. He's better than any other player in the team.
Yes, that one is a fact. That the truth.
So everything have to revolve around killing Mbappe.
That one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I agree with what Lacombe is saying that the pressing cause some imbalance in the team. Agreed perfectly. But as to say Obekacham say he was the problem.
You see, now make I say you may have problem when you
what make you want Mbappe to do,
and you have a point to prove.
And you must understand before
Mbappe, but he was the major.
Before Mbappe, Madrid were still facing their own problems. So he can.
Yeah, the Champions League. Yeah, the Champions League. Problem maybe you. Why the Champions League?
Why the Champions League? No, why the Champions League? Yet your people were not satisfied with what you were giving out.
Giving out to say, yeah, winners.
So telling me that because you won the Champions League, you didn't have a problem.
You see, we are having problem when Toni Kroos said he is going, and Modric was fading off.
Okay.
Because need this kind of midfielders. That kind of say squad depth in terms of how I be rotating in some issue. So that was a problem. I know can see more. E be see what actually. And no be say after say Algeria never can say any problems never be because we come. That time I signing on to no. But see,
that's how I was asking.
No one say problem be better.
Was the problem still pertaining? Yes, it was a thing.
But Mbappe didn't have any tiaba after the Nyama Unko, you must say, or no,
we solved.
Obiasha 44 goals.
We solved. Now make us say, great players. Now where? That's it. Galacticos. Yeah. But see,
I was saying Mbappe support, you know. On this support, you must see. And then you know, one the problem.
You see,
because he doesn't press.
My mom was scoring. Ronaldo Nazario Dalima was scoring. Zidane was giving out a good performance at 2022 that Galactic run, but we failed. So greatness can still be a bad fit. Or be a great player. Be my goals and still best thing be a bad fit because in as much as but you concede.
Rodrigo. Can you who some Madrid to the house out?
I see.
Vinicius Junior. Like Ego Sneer too. Killing him.
No, FIFA Club World Cup. Okay.
Bellingham.
Okay. I bet you go. I bet you. FIFA Club World Cup. Okay. Wait a minute. FIFA Club World Cup. Real Madrid was having balanced team with Goncalo Garcia as leading their front. In terms of the pressing and defense progress. Real Madrid was having balanced team. Yeah, boy, Baby Drew, baby, fine. Now, I'm saying Mbappe. Paris and Mama say, semi-finals. Mama say, four.
No, but sir,
Mbappe, me and balance with team.
Sir,
argument.
PSG match, no. If Gonzalo Garcia and Coach can beat match by 6, I'm telling you.
Me, can be a second.
No way, Real Madrid have beaten Paris Saint-Germain.
But not that goal.
No,
go mistakes. 2 penalty mistake. 2 penalty mistake.
You go to me, but not like I'm a players thing na. I'm the pressure so bad.
The agenda. So far as I go, Garcia boy, we ain't man face this kind of situation.
Yeah.
What kind of sad you say agenda? See, Goncalo Garcia ball from group stage, me boy.
Yeah. Now,
they go
to another frame.
Salzburg and a Pachuca form and a few Pachuca and about Juventus. You feel Juventus, yeah, but so we play almost the big clubs and they won't be big clubs. Yeah, about Juventus. Yeah, about Dortmund. Pachuca, Salzburg. Haaland City. Haaland City.
Pachuca.
Na group they say they Haaland, you say press is so to one. City. Haaland.
It's not him Mbappe.
Mbappe. We won against them.
Say Gonzalo Garcia.
They win against Pachuca. Me boy.
Against Paris.
They win against Pachuca. Yes, Salzburg. And say Pachuca. Anything that board. There be any Haaland board drop. Any Haaland board drop. Yes, Salzburg. Yes, Pachuca. And you go say Juventus. You go say Dortmund.
I'm going to Dortmund.
That is winning already.
How many goals?
Goncalo Garcia on a top scorer league with assist. Nan top scorer
started those matches. Pachuca man, for be 10 goals.
Ebi Saka, ya ma do baby a dream. Ebi Saka ma do baby a dream. Oba ya film man. Oba ya film.
Mbappe now in Paris no be shame no. Look at that Paris before Club World Cup in Paris season.
Masa Chelsea and Arsenal.
Chelsea and red hot form of Paris Saint-Germain. What's that Madrid? Obesia no.
Chelsea form no say. Chelsea form never papa.
Chelsea form never. We never say that tangent here. Who be mistaken?
David or say Real Madrid Paris Saint-Germain. Now check Paris Saint-Germain form there. It just now Real Madrid form that season man. Just Real Madrid for no month me no amon quiet way. And I make say Chelsea and that season was giving us a shambolic performance.
No, in the Club World Cup. They're not giving up a shambolic.
Shambolic performance. Oh, come on. Yeah, maybe yeah, we know the same. Yeah, about in as much as red. Yeah, and like we did red.
Paris will show be no bless out. So sure by me call you here by.
And then o se chese na kwa kwa sir.
O chese
na kwa kwa.
Me say Sagos no Kenya. Jersey. Me say Sagos really Ghana says you mistakes somewhere.
Mistakes account.
Ya show to the Paris on form.
Chances on Mbappe say no can. Chance Mbappe say no can. Mbappe say chance.
And yet those days Mbappe mentality. Paris those days Luis Enrique Paris. Champions League.
Mbappe named Rudiger. I had this big mistake on a PSG.
Mbappe born or question. So over can say I say so a mistake na man ko say na. But one as obi ko mistake am say.
Paris form on Liverpool last season. And now we just na work say Liverpool make us na say we see Liverpool on Paris. But Paris is so be here. That form no they say Liverpool.
That form na 7 Academy. Me disagree with you because you are proud to the fact I work up. Let's change for some performance be ah. Mama me say
no magic conference.
It's conference Roman na kwant come on.
There be Uji then. Who did then?
Last season man be called trophyless.
About your conference league.
Not still na me Champions League no conference no wa je to be ka je say.
Any obi a wa Champions League. Kings
Na
of Europe.
Champions League and the conference it is so be akọ trophy you go shut say Real Madrid for court trophyless. Na say UEFA Champions League of free quarter finals na Chelsea for conference league almost standard Chelsea for a failure. Chelsea standard conference league failure.
Trophy.
Trophy.
Okay mo.
Edu ba bia na me kwa kobo Europa League. Say no competition you pass na mo fisa mo standard no. We are talking about standards. He said Chelsea go conference league almost standard almost step too low.
But Omaji, I don't know the Omaji.
You see Omaji, but it doesn't worth it. It doesn't worth it. Compared to their
standards. So a perfect manager because waji Bibia, waji Europe, waji Bibia.
Honestly, no, I can't.
Waji two categories. Waji trophy,
waji treble.
But see, Senegal can't best managers in this our era. So or that's coachy.
Oh yeah.
Na see him now. Na you in the past growth in free man. Obebo ndia can be any ana. You in the past growth in free man.
All right.
On boni din.
Evansia. This way we draw the curtains down here on.
Remember for musu asem ne kamen kan kire o. Remember for.
You show junior na
Mbappe ye bia mo kan ma di.
Na bini
Vinicius junior osu na o ti boda na osu.
You know complain you know.
And I say Mbappe go save na
we are deep foul ne kula man say ya dia man. Yeah pattern was say kwasa.
Online is so ne butu ya karate ase. Online is so ne.
All right, we are going to continue down here on Offside Labs. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on post notification bell, and also share for other people to join. I did this with CB, Forsen, and Lacom. I say on Mbappe.
Mbappe and Chimani view.
See us, God willing.
Where they are.